A bus stop, early in the morning. A man stands there waiting, and next to him, staring silently at the side of his head, is a giant green owl. It doesn't speak, it doesn't blink, it knows he skipped his Spanish lesson. Later, the owl waits outside his bathroom stall. It rises slowly into view outside his office window, holding eye contact the entire way up. This was a real ad. In 2019, Duolingo, the language learning app, released it for a product that didn't exist, called Duolingo Push. The pitch: skip your lesson, and instead of a phone notification, the owl shows up in person. It was an April Fool's joke. People loved it. But here's the interesting part. The joke only worked because everyone already understood the feeling. Millions of people looked at that owl and thought, yeah, that's about right. Because if you've ever used Duolingo, you know, the owl doesn't just remind you. The owl escalates. First, it's friendly. Time for your daily lesson. Then it's disappointed. Sad owl eyes. You made Duo sad. And if you keep ignoring it, the app eventually sends what might be the most passive-aggressive notification in tech history. These reminders don't seem to be working. We'll stop sending them for now. And that one hurts. A cartoon owl gives up on you, and a real human feeling happens in your chest. Think about how strange that is. You have never met anyone who works at this company. The owl is not real. Nothing happens if you skip a day. No fine, no punishment, nobody even finds out. And yet, millions of people open that app every single day, some for years, partly because they don't want to let a bird down. But it's not really about the owl. It's about the number standing behind him. The streak, that little flame icon, counting the days in a row you've shown up. And streaks are everywhere now. Wordle players doing the puzzle at 11:58 at night, in bed, half asleep, because the streak dies at midnight. Gym apps, meditation apps, reading apps. A few years ago, Snapchat streaks got so serious that teenagers going on vacation would hand over their password, their entire account, so a friend could log in daily and keep the streaks alive. Some kids were maintaining dozens at once and described losing a long one as feeling like the friendship itself had taken a hit. Even before smartphones, this trick existed. There's a famous productivity legend about Jerry Seinfeld. Write jokes every day, mark a red X on a wall calendar for each day you do, and soon your only job is simple. Don't break the chain. Seinfeld, by the way, says he didn't invent this. Doesn't matter. The advice spread everywhere because it works on basically everyone. So here's the question. A streak is a number. It has no cash value. Losing it deletes nothing you actually made. The Spanish words stay learned, the workouts stay done, the puzzles stay solved. Breaking a streak costs you, objectively, nothing. Then why does it feel like losing something real? Why will a grown adult stand in the kitchen at 11:58 p.m. doing a Spanish lesson they won't remember with the genuine physical urgency of someone rescuing a possession from a fire? Because to your brain, that's exactly what it is. Your brain, the same Stone Age hardware that evolved around campfires and food shortages, looks at that little number and files it in a very old and very serious category. Something I own. Something I could lose. And your brain has extremely strong opinions about losing things. In the 1970s, two psychologists, Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky, started asking people a deceptively simple kind of question. Here's one version. A coin flip. Tails, you lose $100. Heads, you win how much? How big would the win have to be before you take that bet? Logically, anything over 100 is a good deal. In reality, most people say no at 110, no at 120, no at 150. On average, people demand around $200 of possible win before they'll risk 100 of possible loss. And that ratio shows up in study after study. Losses hurt roughly twice as much as equal-sized gains feel good. Kahneman and Tversky called it loss aversion, built it into prospect theory in 1979, and it eventually helped win a Nobel Prize. It's one of the most replicated findings in all of behavioral science. Rationally, it makes no sense. $100 is $100 in both directions, but your brain wasn't built by logic. It was built by survival. And for your ancestors, gains and losses were never symmetrical. Picture one of your ancestors, out on the savannah. A good week, extra food, extra firewood. is nice. Life gets a little more comfortable. But a bad week, losing the food store, losing the fire, losing the water hole, that's not nice in reverse. That can be the end. Out there, upside is comfort. Downside is death. Run that asymmetry through hundreds of thousands of years of evolution, and you get a brain with one simple, non-negotiable rule burned in. Protect what you have first. Worry about getting more later. You still run that code. Researchers have caught it working on coffee mugs. In a famous experiment, Kahneman and his colleagues handed out mugs to half a classroom, then opened a little market. Owners could sell, everyone else could buy. Same mug, same room, minutes of ownership. The owners demanded roughly double what the buyers were willing to pay. The moment something becomes yours, your brain quietly doubles its price tag. Now look at what a streak actually does. Day 1, the app hands you a number. It's worthless. You'd trade it for nothing, but it's yours now. Day 10, day 50, day 400, every morning you check in, the number grows, and the ancient inventory system in your head keeps marking its value up. And here's the genius, or the trap. The app has converted your habit into a possession. Doing a lesson used to be a small gain, and small gains are easy to skip. Missing a lesson is now a loss, and your brain will fight twice as hard to stop a loss. But loss aversion has an accomplice. You've met it too. In 1985, psychologists Hal Arkus and Catherine Bloomer ran an experiment at a university theater. People buying season tickets were randomly given different prices: full price, a small discount, or a big discount. Same seats, same shows. Then the researchers quietly counted who actually showed up. The full-price buyers attended significantly more plays, not because they loved theater more, but because more money was already sunk. Skipping a show felt like wasting it. Money that was already gone, unrecoverable no matter what, was steering their behavior anyway. That's the sunk cost fallacy. You keep investing in things not because of where they're going, but because of what you've already put in. A 400-day streak is 400 sunk days. Every check-in adds to the pile, so the streak gets heavier the longer it lives. Day 400 is harder to skip than day 4, even if the lesson stopped teaching you anything months ago. You're no longer showing up for the reward ahead of you. You're showing up to guard the pile behind you. And then there's the third mechanism, maybe the sneakiest one. Back in the 1930s, a behaviorist named Clark Hull noticed something about rats running mazes. The closer they got to the food, the faster they ran. He called it the goal gradient. Decades later, in 2006, marketing researchers led by Rand Kivetz found the exact same thing in humans using coffee shop loyalty cards. Buy 10 coffees, get one free. And sure enough, people bought coffees faster and faster the closer they got to the free one. Rats in a maze, but with lattes. Then came the twist. The researchers gave some customers a 12-stamped card with 2 stamps already filled in. Do the math. It's the same 10 purchases, but the pre-stamped customers finished significantly faster because they felt like they'd already started. Progress, even fake progress, pulls you forward. Streaks weaponize this beautifully. There's always a milestone coming. 7 days, 30, 100, 365. You're never far from the next badge, so the pull never switches off. A normal finish line makes you sprint once. A streak is a finish line that moves. Every single day, you are almost there, permanently. So stack it all up. Loss aversion makes the streak feel like property you can't afford to lose. Sunk cost makes it heavier every day it survives. The goal gradient keeps the carrot floating forever, just ahead of you. 3 of the oldest circuits in your brain, all pulling in the same direction, toward one more day. That's not a number anymore. That's a trap built out of your own wiring. And the people who build these apps know it. Streaks didn't end up in every app on your phone by accident. Duolingo has been openly clear about this. The streak is one of its most powerful retention features, studied, tuned, and A/B tested for years. Streak freezes, streak repair, weekend amnesty. None of this is secret. They talk about it in interviews. And it's not because they're evil. Retention is the business, but it means the little flame on your screen was engineered by very smart people to point 2 million years of survival instinct at a single goal. Open the app tomorrow. And you can feel the exact moment it flips. It's 11:58 p.m. You open Duolingo and pick the shortest, easiest lesson, words you've known for months. 30 seconds, done. Flame saved. You learned absolutely nothing. And you don't care. Because learning was never the point of that session. Protecting the number was. Somewhere along the way, the streak stopped measuring the habit and became the habit. The tool you were using is now using you. So what actually happens when it breaks? Because it will break. A flight, a fever, a dead battery at 11:59. The flame goes gray, the counter says 0, and for a moment, it genuinely stings. That sting is real. Your loss aversion circuit doesn't know it's just an app. But then, nothing. The 400 days of Spanish are still in your head. The workouts are still in your body. The number was measuring the work. It was never where the work was stored. You lost the shadow. You kept the thing. And here's the part your brain won't tell you, but the research will. In 2014, behavioral scientists Heng-Chin Dai, Katie Milkman, and Jason Rice found something they called the fresh start effect. People are measurably more likely to chase their goals right after a clean break in time. A new week, a new month, a birthday. Gym attendance jumps, commitments spike. That clean slate your broken streak just handed you, the thing that feels like failure, statistically, it's one of the most motivating positions a human being can stand in. Day 0 isn't the end of the story. Day 0 is where every streak you've ever admired started. So maybe give the owl one honest look. You were never really scared of a cartoon bird. You were scared of what the numbers seemed to prove, that you'd finally become the kind of person who shows up. And you were scared that if it ever hit 0, that person would vanish with it. They don't. The person who showed up 400 times is not stored in the app. They're the one holding the phone. Keep the streak if it helps you. It's a genuinely clever piece of motivation, and there are worse things to be tricked into than daily Spanish. Just remember which direction it's supposed to point. The flame works for you, you don't work for the flame. And if it ever does hit 0, good. You know what the research says about fresh starts. Go be the person. The number will catch up.